Hey, I am at Petchrungruang and it's like 7. Normally I would have left an hour ago, but the rain has been absolutely crazy these past 2 days. So, okay, yesterday I had to go to Laos. Days ago I went to Laos. Yesterday I was coming back and it was raining almost the entire way down from Laos, which this is a very long country and it's like should be a 12-hour drive, but the way this guy is driving is like a 10-hour drive. Unbelievable. This tree got knocked down on our block and blew out the entire grid, so like 2 or 3 blocks around our house there was absolutely no power when I got home, and it was just raining like crazy. So there was this curtain of water around the gym starting from like, I don't know, 5:30 or something, and the entire gym flooded. Like, I can't show it to you now because it's all drained away, but it was just coming from the ceilings. You could like walk through it. It was like 6 inches deep in some places. Pinu was laughing because we're actually on a hill here in this part of Pattaya, which means that the roads I have to take to go home are going to be completely flooded. Our street is going to be so flooded, and I just have a motorbike, so driving that in a river, because it's not actually an amphibious, awesome vehicle, is either going to ruin my bike or be really unpleasant. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time to drain out, but I'm really cold. I'm sweaty, I'm wet, it's like humid and awful, so I'm just cold and want to go home and take a hot shower, but I have to wait a little bit longer. I've been listening to my tapes a little bit, so that's good, but I, Tokdina. So I've just been trying to get a little bit of work in today because I had to go to Laos for my visa, so I left on Sunday night. You get to the border on Monday morning at like 4 a.m. and it opens at 6. You go across, hand in your passports, you finally get to lay down at like 2 p.m. And then you just spend the night in a hotel and go back the next day to pick up your passports, and if everything's good then you just come home. So it's a 3-day trip. I did get my ED visa, which is absolutely outstanding. I was really, really happy about that. But I didn't get to fight on Sunday because the girl I was supposed to fight broke her wrist. And they couldn't find anyone to replace her. I really hate this thing that's like when you don't have someone to fight, people are like, oh, they're afraid of you. But my trainer and the promoter are like, people are afraid of you and they don't want to fight you. So, I don't know, that's not a positive thing. But I guess at least I have a reputation and I'm like known. I just wish people really wanted to fight me as a result of that. And so I didn't train these last couple of days because I was in Laos, but it would have been that way anyway if I had had my fight. I'm fighting this Friday, which means in 2 days. So I came back today, it's Wednesday, and I'll train again tomorrow on Thursday, so I won't have the day off before my fight that I would normally do. And Pinu seems kind of cool with this. He didn't know I was fighting on Friday. I think I forgot to tell him. But I was in the middle of clinching and I was like laughing and being a complete idiot. And I had told Alex that I was fighting on Friday because every time you start clinching with someone, it's like, oh, who's fighting first, because it has some weight in who's going to be first in the like man in the middle game and all this stuff. So Alex tells Pinu that I'm fighting on Friday, and Pinu's like, what? You didn't tell me this. So I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, start sparring. So I got a lot of good work in. I got this little black eye going right here. That I got actually from like gloves rubbing when I was doing boxing sparring with Alex. It gets a little intense with him, and I can actually only fight with one hand right now because my right hand is still trying to recover, trying to save it for my fights. So I'm like this one-handed person just skimping around trying to get as much as I can. Sigh. People are starting to head out, so I think that I'm going to try to make my way. But yeah, so I'm excited about this fight on Friday because 1, it's against a really good opponent. 2, it's an opponent who I was offered probably a year ago. And just coincidentally, I'm going to be fighting. And 3, my friend Yo Ying, who I actually really want to fight, is going to come with me. So we're going to pick her up in Bangkok and bring her down to Hua Hin, and she's going to be my corner, which is really badass. I'm really excited about that. She texted me and was like, you have to win because I'm going to put money on you, which was funny and a little bit of pressure, so I just threw it back on her and was like, oh, well, if you're my corner, of course I'll win. And then after that, I'm fighting on the 29th. So a little bit of training, a little bit of not training, and just trying to get, you know, as confident as I can for each of these fights, doing what I have time to do. And yeah, I feel good. I like fighting, so I'm really excited to have these fights after having a couple of cancellations this month. And I'm going to try to swim home. So here's a little bit of the water having come down. Had to pick up all the mats off the floor. It was coming down from up here before. It was just like raining inside out of this thing, which was not awesome. But I'll be here tomorrow morning, so hopefully it won't be raining when I come in. I'll talk to you guys later.